Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And yesterday we had, or the other day, 2 days ago, we had the big announcement that we're getting 3 expansions and 3 mini sets next year. Also the StarCraft stuff, but kind of lost to the shuffle was the arena announcement. And I saw a lot of comments worried about what I consider to be Hearthstone's oldest mode. Standard and Wild, technically, were not there when Hearthstone started. It was ranked, and then it got switched to Standard and Wild. And we have the arena, which is the mode that I have been streaming a lot lately, because if you watch my gameplay video later today, you'll note I have some frustrations with the current standard meta, which I think a lot of you guys share. But the arena, the mode where you're able to draft a deck of 30 cards, get to pick from 3 of, I guess, 11 classes now, and compete against other drafted decks until you either get 12 wins or 3 losses, or I guess you click the retire button like I've been doing a little bit lately if the deck is really lame, is getting changed. This mode, as we know it, is getting removed, and I am optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic, despite the fact they've destroyed Twist or whatever that was supposed to be. They deleted duels. Classic got deleted. Mercenaries is a mode that existed at some point. We're gonna go over what we know so far and why I'm crossing my fingers that they will not screw this up and will actually be a good thing for the mode. And as always, if you enjoy the content on the channel and feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like, it helps a lot as we're on the road to 89,000 subscribers. So I have this arena run going on. By the way, tune in later, twitch.tv/Zeddy. We'll probably be playing this and maybe ladder. I always say maybe ladder, and then we never play ladder. But I did uncover an article from GameSpot that went over like a bunch of extra details on like the StarCraft stuff and, you know, the upcoming expansions. But there was a blurb. I'll link this down below if you want to read the full thing. There was a blurb about the arena mode, trying to give a bit more details. Maybe this will help. We also got a core tweet and just some information that I thought I would share, and then, yeah, go over my concerns and all of that. So it says here, the Heroes of StarCraft mini set will release in January 2025, but the StarCraft crossover was just the tip of the iceberg when it came to Hearthstone announcements. Blizzard also revealed a full 2025 roadmap with 3 upcoming expansions, as well as a shakeup to the Arena's mode. Arena's Hearthstone Premium Draft mode has been largely unchanged since the game launched in 2014. That's why I call it the oldest mode, but that will be changing soon. In the first half of 2025, Blizzard will change Arena in a big way by introducing 2 versions of Arena to choose from. So it's basically been confirmed they will be removing the current version we got, and what we will get is the normal Arena will be similar to what exists now, but sports faster runs while letting players flex their competitive deck building muscles. I don't know if I'll get in trouble. I think this is publicly known already, but I'm just gonna say that it's going to be 5 wins or 2 losses is my understanding for the shorter arena. So this arena, which we'll go into more versions, more detail on, it'll be like 5 wins, 2 losses. So it's significantly shorter. You don't have to drag out necessarily as long a run. And I do believe the underground arena will be 12 wins, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. It's just the first one that I'm like almost 100% certain will be 5 wins, 2 losses. Obviously, we'll know when they release it and all of that. Another new version of the mode, the Underground Arena, will take things even further. The Underground will include players of all skill levels, in contrast to normal Arena, which will still use a win-based matching system. Longer runs and a new feature called Redraft on Loss that lets players redraft cards and edit their deck before going again in order to up their chances of winning. Both arena modes will have their own rank system. Diogo said the splitting of Arena into 2 modes came as a result of wanting to create an easier entry point for new players while simultaneously giving existing Arena players more challenge and higher stakes. The mode is currently difficult for new players to dive into because of how heavy competition can be as many who specialize in Arena have been playing since Hearthstone first released. It was really to raise that ceiling for players who want that, but also lower the floor a little bit so Arena can be a place that is welcoming for all type of players again. So that's the most details we got on that. And I will say, normally, like years ago when I started streaming, Arena was like where I would recommend players to learn how to play Hearthstone. That's how I learned. But it's this way now where everything's so crazy and it's so cutthroat, and the power level of the game, you just get slaughtered, right? You just lose resources, and it's not a very good way to learn the game anymore. And I actually think this is a really good idea if executed properly, of course. Having that like newer Arena, the more simple Arena, having its own matchmaking, which I confirm it'll have like a ranked system and MMR, will be so much better because they're less likely to be matched into someone like, I'm not going to act like I'm a hotshot here, but someone like me who's played Hearthstone for like 10 years and not, have a better chance, face someone newer, that it'll be a more reasonable match. And I think that's a great thing. I think that's actually really solid. And then the thing that people are really worried about, which is partially why I want to make this video to clarify on things, is the whole like redraft on loss thing. Is that like going to be a pay to win element? Because everything Blizzard's been doing lately with Hearthstone has added pay to win elements, right? Battlegrounds added the extra pick in Battlegrounds to buy extra heroes, and we know with Mercenaries was gross, and there's been a lot of that stuff. We had early access cards that they thankfully ditched, but Cora did go onto Twitter to elaborate on this. Just want to reassure that redraft on loss feature is included in all underground Arena runs. It does not cost extra to opt in. We'll be sharing more details on the Arena revamp the closer we get to launch. Some things are still under development at this time. So basically the way it'll work is if you play the regular like new Arena, it goes to like 5 wins or 2 losses, and you'll be matched up against people of equivalent rank, and it'll have its own reward system. Probably, if you get 5 wins, you'll get a little bit of a boost on top of what your entry fee would be. We kind of saw that with the early access brawl, what it might be like. And then the underground Arena, you'll play, and I'm assuming it'll go to 12 wins or 3 losses like the regular Arena. And then basically once you lose your first game, you will be able to redraft and pick 5 new cards. Once you get those cards, you can basically take out 5 cards from your deck that's already there, or not. You can just leave them alone. You can leave your deck as is. You don't want to, these cards that you got were actually worse. You can leave that, and then you play your run to its completion. I do not believe there is MMR in this mode. In Underground, it's purely based off your record. So if you have 3 wins and no losses, they will try and queue you up against someone with 3 wins and no losses. So basically, the concern for this mode will ultimately just be how much will it cost to enter the underground arena? How much will it cost the regular arena? What are the rewards going to be like for those arenas? And that's really it. There doesn't seem to be any extra monetization on top of it. You shouldn't be able to buy an extra redraft, buy an extra thing to get 5 more cards against your opponent. And as long as that stays true, I think this should be a win for the mode. I really do, because currently the way it is, it's really hard for newer players to get involved at all. It's cutthroat, it's ruthless, and which ends up, just a mode that's just filled with veteran players that are just battling out against each other. It's fun for me, I guess, but you can still do that in the underground arena. So they're really trying to use that mode, which can be a great way to introduce new players into Hearthstone, a more regular way, and they can play cards they don't necessarily have. That was always cool with Arena. Draft a legendary I didn't own, an epic I didn't own, and that can stay that way. So my summary of this, my hopes, I'm cautiously optimistic that they won't mess this up. But like almost every new mode or change, they have messed up since Battlegrounds was launched. So fingers crossed, because this is such an important mode. It has been there since day one. So many of their big creators, like a Kriparian, started with the arena and was their bread and butter and was a big deal to a lot of people. So I really hope that they do the correct things and make it a success. But early looking at all this, I will say I'm hopeful. And I feel like I'm being a sucker for being baited again to being hopeful because it always backfires, but I'm going to say I'm hopeful on it, and we'll see how it plays out. Again, once we get on more details, we'll let you know. But yeah, trying to ease maybe some of the people worrying about it, that it doesn't look like it's going to be pay to win. It's just hopefully more accessible, and also maybe some new fun challenges for more experienced players. And redrafting would be kind of sweet. You know, what duels used to have. Can you bring back duels too? Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Check out the salty gameplay video later. This meta is driving me crazy. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.